Hello everybody, Jose Rodriguez here. Yeah, I could imagine how you guys felt after watching my last video where I talked about the gloom and doom of the upcoming printers and really what the future brings for us home printers. Actually, if you really think about it, there's no problem at all. Just use OEM ink. You're all set. You will get the best prints that you could ever imagine out of your printers. And of course, it'll make that hobby, if you're just getting into it, go flawless. The problems come when you start using other inks that are not necessarily perfectly matched. And that's the secret. See, really, there aren't any perfectly matched third-party inks to OEMs. So anyway, but why are they making this so difficult? Why are they so against us? Well, there is a dirty little secret going around. And again, I'm just going to speculate here, okay? Don't take it to the bank, okay? But I'm going to speculate here because there seems to be some truth to this. Apparently, some organizations have been counterfeiting inks, and it's really, really easy to do. It really is. All you need is CLI-42 cartridges, PGI 72 cartridges, refill them. These cartridges can be refilled without removing the ball. Yes, and these are, of course, a piece of cake to refill. And they are wrapping them, repackaging them as if they were original. They are not using OEM inks. Where the hell are they going to get OEM inks to begin with, right? So they are refilling them with third-party inks and, of course, selling them off as originals. The regular consumer will never detect that this is not, an original card. This one is. But what you will get is so close to the original that it will take an expert, okay, to identify it as a non-real cartridge. And I think that's one of those situations where these companies have decided, wait a minute, this is going too far, because really, we refillers only fill about maybe 10%, and that's 10% is a lot, okay, but it's not half. 10% is still a lot of people. And of course, if they're not using your expensive inks is what the printer companies make money with, of course. And they use that money, of course, to, support themselves and to come up with updated printers for us who are constantly demanding new updates to our products. Happens with the iPhones, happens with the Android phones. Again, people cannot wait for the new model to come out, and they are camping overnight in front of the stores. Well, maybe not nowadays, but you know what I mean. So, yeah, that's how they make their money, folks. But now things are going to be a little bit different. These printers are not being sold cheaply anymore. They are being sold quite high. I just looked on Amazon.com. Yeah, and I put in EPSON P600. They want almost $900 for an EPSON P600. A P600, okay? They want close to $600 for a Canon Pro-1000, and they just don't have them. They don't have them on Prime. There are none in the warehouse. They have independent sellers selling them starting at $600 something, about $650 each Pro-1000. Okay, remember the days when you could get them for $100? I got two here, and the one that's down there now is 7 years old officially. This week, 7 years old. I got all three of them actually for $300 for all three. Okay, plus gas to get to and from the people that I was buying them from. They were new in box. So what can we do, folks? What can we do? Well, if you know me very well, you know that the only printer that I'm actually using third-party inks on is the Pro-1000. I'm using PC42 SE inks. Everything else, P800, Pro-1000, Pro-10, Pro-1, 3800, 3880, R3000, 2880, R2000, all of them are using OEM inks. Okay, how can Joe afford that? Okay, how can I afford that? Well, It's tricky. You just have to search and search and search and buy cartridges from which you can then harvest the inks from and then substitute those. On the EPSON printers, you need refillable cartridges. On the Canon printers, we can refill them on that. I have refillable cartridges in that P800 over there and a chip decoder board. Yeah, it's tricky. It's going to get even trickier because the options are going to be greatly reduced. So again, I hate to upload another sad, depressing video, but don't let that get to you, because I'm not going to give up printing. I'm not going to give up this hobby, this craft, and especially this channel. I'm going to try to defeat this situation. But the reality is that you're going to have to go back and search high and low for printers that have a great reputation and just get lucky. Like I said prior to this video, the ones that I bought new were this one. Let me think. The R2000 was new, Pro-100s. So, it depends on who is selling them. You want to stay away from someone who may say, I have a so-and-so and so, the inks are empty. That's it. Stay away from that one, because they've been empty now for probably a year and a half. Okay? Yeah. So, you need to find someone. And again, it's going to be a very, very tedious search mission. Okay? Find someone who will allow you to come to their premises and you can witness a print spitting out of that printer and be willing to pay more money than you normally would, because again, those are the only printers that will allow you to continue refilling like we're accustomed to. And again, like I said, yeah, I'm refilling. I'm doing the evil act of refilling, but I'm using OEM inks on this one, on that one, on the Pro-10, on the Pro-1, and all the others. Okay? And again, it's a commitment. We're going to be doing sort of like guide videos on what to do. And if you cannot test the printer, at least give it a look over before you pass the money over to that seller. And again, if you're doing it on eBay, it's kind of a crapshoot. And if you're doing it on Craigslist, at least, you can look at the printer, the back of the person's trunk, if you will, in front of the 7-Eleven. That's usually what happens when you are doing a Craigslist transfer. But anyway, okay, don't give up. It's not the end of the world. We can still continue enjoying this great hobby. And again, if you can afford OEM inks, there's no problem at all. There's no problem at all. But keep aware that printer prices are going to go up. They are going up right now, especially with the leftover supply of Pro-100s and Pro-10s. They're not going to get cheaper. They're going to get more and more expensive. If you find one under $400, snap it up. Snap it up, because you're not going to get that lucky, okay, in the next week or two. It's going to skyrocket. And that's really the, I have never seen this happen. I really have not seen this happen. I've been doing this since the year 2000, and I have always been able to go back and buy older printers at relatively really cheap prices, if you will, and I do my magic on them and then get them to work correctly. Again, a lot of those older printers, no problem using third-party products. It's just these new printers, they just simply will not allow you. Now, Pro-300 from Canon, yes, you can refill those Pro-10-like cartridges. You just don't have a way to reset the chips. But then we didn't have a way to reset the chips on the Pro-100 either for like a couple of years. Okay, so yeah, we were suffering back then as well. But anyway, yeah, you can fill them up. You can pop them in. You can disable ink monitoring. I don't know how the printers will react. Whether if the cleaning cycles remain the same, then I don't have a problem. Like every 2 weeks, topping off all my cartridges. Okay, I don't have a problem with that. But if it affects the rate of cleaning cycles, like it did on the original Pro-100 with the old firmware, which was driving us crazy, I don't think it's going to be a problem. This one definitely allows you to do that. Ink Owl right now tells you disable ink monitoring and just refill your old cartridges when they get empty. That's it. That's what they are doing, and that's what they're recommending. So I don't see a huge problem. Let me drink some more coffee. We just have to realize that whether you agree or not, they're defending their product and they want you to use their gas. Okay, I disagree with that concept, but that's the way it is. And they have a chip, they have a way they coded it, and it's up to you, the so-called hacker, to come up with a method. And if you succeed, more power to you. You know, they made it difficult though. They made it difficult. So anyway, all right. We're going to do some videos next week that will then cover how to buy a used printer, what to look for. We're going to have a live stream this weekend. I hope you enjoyed the one the previous Sunday with Drew Hendricks from Red River Paper. And I wasn't quite sure whether he actually owned the complete company, but apparently he does. And I learned a lot. I did not know that they did all their cutting in-house, their packaging in-house. Apparently they do. They buy the rolls already coated and ready to be cut into all of the myriad of different sizes that they offer. Again, really, really super cool time that we had last Sunday, and I hope everybody else out there who did not catch it live is watching it now on the replay. So thank you so much. Again, don't get depressed. This is not the end of the world. Hang in there. We're going to continue doing this. We're going to continue hammering and finding ways to continue our hobby at an affordable rate. Thank you so much. Happy printing, everybody. Oh, hit that thumbs up, please, before you log off. Bye-bye.